It would be the most important minute of your life.
It's important.
If you've been lied to about everything, this really matters. Earth is flat, ladies. Earth is flat, not a globe. Oh, Lisa's doing great. Awesome. Oh, this is choice. See that? Earth is flat. It is. Earth is flat, gentlemen, not a globe. You don't live on a ball. You play football on a pitch, you don't play on a ball. You play football on a pitch, you don't play on a ball. Earth is flat and level. Water is level, the sea is level. We cannot live on a ball and we cannot evolve from monkeys. You are created perfect by the Creator. We cannot make each other sick. Breath is life. Oh, there we go. This one got dumped. Earth is flat. The earth is flat. Earth is not a globe. You've been lied to. Earth is not a globe. You do not live on a spinning rock. Earth is flat. You can't make each other sick. Earth is flat. Earth is flat, not a globe. Earth is flat. The earth is flat. Earth is not a ball spinning in space. That's nonsense. Rocks don't float. Rocks do not float. Water is always level when at rest. Think about it. Earth is mostly water and rocks do not float. Rocks will never float. The moon is a rock and it floats. Think about it. How can a rock float? You've been brainwashed to believe that rocks can float in outer space. But outer space is a production of Disneyland and NASA. The only space we can get to is that we can travel to. Outer space is a non-existent idea of a vacuum, and if it was a vacuum, our atmosphere would be gone in a nanosecond. In nature, all fruit must be contained. In nature, an orange will not grow its fruit on the outside. What makes you think this earth would grow its fruit on the outside of the skin, on the outside of the peel? All things in nature need a skin. Thermodynamics demands pressure needs containment. Pressure must be contained, otherwise it will equalize. Earth is flat, not a spinning rock. Rocks do not float. Rocks don't float, bro. Rocks do not float. You must have rocks in your head if you think that rocks can float. Water is level when at rest, and most of the earth is water. How does it become a ball? How does it become a ball, and how do rocks float in space? You've been lied to by your religion. You've been lied to by your science. The earth is not a spinning rock. The earth is not spinning at all. It's the sky that's spinning. It's the air that's moving, but not the earth. The earth cannot move unless it's having an earthquake. The earth cannot spin and have you upside down later today and you not fall off of it. The earth cannot contain water to its exterior. The water must be contained on its interior. Interior, the inside. That's where we live, inside the skin of this earth. The earth cannot be a spinning, floating ball. That's insanity. Do you play football on a pitch or do you play football on a ball? Think about it. Water is always level when at rest. You cannot get the surface of water to curve such that it would form a ball. You cannot get gas to coalesce and form a ball. Gas will always form in strata, in levels. You have been brainwashed, and it's hard to hear that you are the product of an indoctrination system that goes back centuries. You're so far from the truth, you find the truth funny. But the truth is that water is level, which is why we say water level. We do not say water curve. And if you think that water is curving, measure it. Go do some science and measure the curve. Measure the curve and measure the spin. Find me the spin of this earth and you can find yourself 2 bitcoins, $2 million. You could have if you could find curving water. Because water will never curve on the surface. It will only curve in the container. It has to be contained water, otherwise it will run away. It will spill off your ball. Can you imagine playing football on a ball? You cannot play your football on a ball. You have to play on a level playing field. When you traverse England, when you go west coast to east coast, are you using the same sea level to start as when you finish? Or is there a different sea level on the east coast than there is on the west coast? Think about it. Think about it. Is the sea level the same on the east coast as the west coast? Of course it's the same. Ships cannot sail downhill. Trains cannot sail downhill, travel downhill. Ships cannot sail uphill. Water must be level, otherwise you will need a series of lakes and locks to move the water down the mountain where it will get back to sea level. There is one ocean here. There's one ocean on earth, and it is one great big pond. It's a great lake. And that's where we live, inside a great lake. The universal orange, the universal egg. This is the world that we live in. And you, my friends, are the center of creation. You are the reason. You are the Christ. You are the reason that this world exists. And it is all designed for you. Not to be a slave. Not to be a subject. Not to be under the heel of some religion, or worse still, some government that would force you to give up free breathing. A government that would force you to stay at home against your will. Is this the sort of control that you want? You call yourself a master, and yet you give away your breath. That means that you have a master, and you are no longer in self-mastery. Self-mastery can only be achieved when you have information, truth, and knowledge about what you are and what this place is. But to think that you live on a spinning rock in the middle of a dark vacuum of space is Darwinian, Einsteinian poppycock. Big Bang is a design to steal the truth of your divinity. You are the center of creation. The earth is flat. It is not a spinning rock. Rocks do not float. Rocks cannot float. Think about it. How can rocks float? What goes up comes down, and there's only one up and one down. The earth is flat and not spinning. Work it out. You've been lied to since childhood to demean you and to diminish your connection to your creator.
Well, I'm not sure.
No, from that.
Yeah, well, you can see that.
Hey. How you doing, guys?
Hello, mate, you're right.
All right. I see you're a Christian.
I am. Yeah.
When I was a young man, I read the Bible extensively, and I used to joke with my preacher and say, hey, you know, your Bible is so out of date that it says that the earth is not moving, the lights are small. You know, nothing in the Genesis story lends itself to the science story of evolution and how the Big Bang brings everything into being. So I really struggled with that as a youngster. And then about 7 years ago, it was brought to my attention that there's a formula for the curvature of water on the globe. And I'd never looked at that formula, but when I did, I started to question whether or not it's possible that water is actually curving, and that I've seen things over my lifetime over water that I shouldn't be able to see if indeed things are going over the horizon at 3 or 4 miles as we're taught. And so I started to question that. I went back to the Bible, because for me, the Bible says the earth is made ahead of the sun. It is superior to the sun. There's a roof, there's an enclosure in that. And a lot of what we talk about here in the flat earth theory is that we must be on a level body of water with our continents sticking out the top, and for pressure to exist, there must be a dome over the top, just like it says in the Bible.
Okay, mate. Okay. Good stuff.
Food for
I
thought.
mean, I must admit, what attracted me was, like, for me, I've been so against the whole COVID scam since the very, very start.
Good.
So
Well
that's
done.
I'm absolutely all in on this, like these villains here, these psychopaths and sort of have to be stopped. So I'm absolutely all in with you on that. I must admit. But the other thing, to be honest with you, it almost doesn't push me all the way. But this, I'm absolutely all in with you on this.
Well,
these people are demons.
they are
and I am
demons,
absolutely
but
bang against them.
those are the same people who organise our education.
Very
And you know
true,
what this
yeah, and control our media.
Yeah, and this is my theory on electromagnetic wave. But actually, these people are friends with our queen, and with all, you know what I mean? You know, and then you've got the Vatican. What is the Vatican's part in all of this, and why is the Pope suggesting pushing people to go and get vaccinated and so on? You know, so it's the whole of the infrastructure of our establishment comes under scrutiny when you realise this. And so, is it then possible that the science of the interferometer experiments that they were doing in the 1800s, they proved those. Aries failure, which was the astronomer Royal. He said, I'm going to, in the 1800s, I'm going to devise an experiment that will determine whether it's the Earth moving or the stars. And his experiment was known as failure because it showed that the stars were moving, and that was the result they wanted. So the basics is that.
Because we've got dash. Like I said, I'm actually all in with you on this, but I'll read a bunch of stuff as well. And I've read Laura Dodsworth's book the week it came out, State of Fear, which is excellent as well, the one there.
All right.
You take it.
All the best. Guys, take a flyer. I've got a flyer you can take home with you. Do you see my bigger artwork up there? I did a bigger artwork up there, much bigger. It's flat. Let's just go a bit further up there, just to catch people's attention on the way out.
Certainly catches people's attention. Most people are looking down. But you should be looking up. Most people heads are down.
They are, but there is no up and down on the globe, okay?
A lot of people not living a come by our world. Irish. And they're lovely people.
Earth is flat, ladies. We don't live on a globe. Earth is not moving. You can't show me which way we're moving. Earth is not moving, it's the lights that move. The Earth is flat, not a globe. You know? Fantastic. Superb. Well, we're doing a little show here, right here. Yeah, nice one. Nice one. Yeah, no, there you go. So.
Foil on that, you know what I mean?
Yes, you are a queen. I love it. I love it. Fantastic. He doesn't want me to say that, but big bracelet saying queen. I think that's right, but of course the bling queen isn't quite what. I don't know that that's what is intended. You know. There you go. She's good, eh? It's the Truman Show. We live in the Truman Show. Our whole world has been rigged. We live in a stage, it's not moving. Earth is flat. It's not a globe. Earth is flat. The earth is not moving.
I'm just getting some hairspray for.
Oh, okay. The earth is not a spinning ball, folks. You can't point to which direction we're moving. We can't show that water is curving over the surface. Your scientists are lying to you. You cannot. They've never been to space. They never went to the moon. ISS is a joke. It's a circus act. You are being tricked by your masters when you are meant to be the master. You should have no master other than your own self-mastery. Don't give away your authority to those who will frighten you into believing anything that they tell you. If the government told you to crawl on your knees to avoid COVID, would you do it? The earth is not a spinning ball, and you can't make each other sick. Your breath is perfect. Your immunity is perfect. Stop weakening it. Stop weakening it by covering your God-given breath. Only God can take your breath. The earth is flat, not a spinning rock. Rocks do not float. Rocks don't float, and water is always level when at rest. And water is parallel to every other body of resting water, because we live on a flat earth in which all gases and liquids settle at their own level. Level means flat. And level in this case means horizontal too.
It tastes like
And the horizon is the longest, flattest line that we can find here on our flat earth. The earth cannot be a spinning rock. Rocks don't spin very well, and they certainly don't float. If you were spinning and upside down underneath the rock, you would fall off. You would fall off, and the water would fall off. The ship would fall off. The aircraft would not work upside down on a globe that is complete poppycock made up by Disneyland and NASA, which is a part of Disney and a part of the government control system that exists here to constrain your mind from ever finding the truth about who and what you are. You are the emanation of the creation. You are the emanation of the Creator. You are the reason. You are the hub of the wheel. You are not a spoke on the wheel. You are not the rubber on the tire. You are the hub of the wheel, but the servitude, slavery camp we live in wants you to give that away. It wants to trick you into consenting to giving away your God-given power and thinking that you are merely an evolved ape spinning on the side of a dangerous stone. That's insanity, and it's demeaning of our Creator. It's demeaning of you, and in that case you will go and demean your own children in the very same way. You can't make each other sick with your breath. Wake up! The earth is not a spinning rock. Rocks don't float. Water is level. Rocks do not float. Earth is flat. Earth is flat and unmoving, like it says in all the religious texts, because once upon a time people were much smarter than we are now, and they could not be tricked into believing that rocks would float. Rocks do not float. Prove it. Water does not curve on its surface to form a ball. Prove it. Demonstrate it. Go and test it for yourself. Water you can measure to be level over any body you test. Small, medium, large. It's always going to come back with the same result. Level. Level. Level water on a flat, non-moving earth. You have been deceived. Can you face the truth? Can you face the truth? Because if you can, it will liberate your soul. It will help you to realize that you are meant to be the master of your own ship and not the subject, not the servant. Earth is flat, brother. Young brother, the earth is flat. Do not accept the science that says you came from a monkey and that you evolved. That's nonsense. God created you perfect as you are. You created you perfect as you are. God is within you, and you are within God. This universe is God. This universe might be round, but the earth we play on is like a football pitch. No one plays football on a football. That would be stupid. Stupid! Why would you play football on a football? Think about it. Water is always level, and we must work on level surfaces, otherwise we slip down the hill. How can we live on the side of a ball? Come on, people! It's 2022. Don't you know you were lied to last year? Don't you know you were lied to in 2020? Did you enjoy being a slave forced to stay at home? Did you enjoy being a slave forced to asphyxiate yourself with a lady towel over your mouth? What kind of insanity is this, that we would agree to give up our free breath? What are you thinking, people? Humanity, what are you thinking? If I asked you to give up your breath, you would tell me to go away. So why didn't the government go away? Because you are a slave and you are happy to be told what to do and told what to think. But water is level and you can't make each other sick. Water is level and we do not spin. The sun and moon, the Islamic text will tell you the sun and moon is moving, not the earth. The sun and moon move, not the earth. You've been lied to, you've been misled, and you have been brainwashed into believing you are insignificant when in fact you are the most important thing here. This is your universe, and no man or no corporation should be able to steal your God energy. This is God's world, and we have given it up to the dead, to the corporates, to the corporations, to the Hollisters, and the king of traders. But no, this is your world, this is your universe. But when you believe you are an insignificant ant on a spinning rock, then you will give away your breath. You will give away your freedom. You will give away your liberty and your sovereignty. And God does not want this. God does not want this. Allah does not want this. Allah wants you to know that you are the reason. You are the center of the universe. There is nothing here higher than you, my friends, but you give it away to a dead organization called government. You give away your consent, your sovereignty, your true divinity, because you think you are a servant, because you think you are insignificant, because you think you evolved, rather than were created perfect, just as intended by the Creator. You made a soul contract with yourself to come here in this avatar and have this experience, but you didn't know that it was going to be cheated from you. You didn't know that you were going to be brought into all sorts of conflict with your brother, with your sister, with your black neighbor, with your religious counterpart. You didn't realize that, but that's the trick. And I'm offering you a little insight, a little key to open that box that belongs to you and your Creator.